Thabo Lekalakala is a simple guy, an entrepreneur by default, if I should say. He's outgoing, he's an extrovert, love meeting new people, love conversating, into good conversations and, like beneficial conversations. I grew up in Makulering, was raised by a single mom, so I'm just one of those type of guys that grew up in the locations, in the ghetto and everything, I'm just trying to make lemonade out of lemons. Being an entrepreneur it's not all rosy. It's not all rosy. You need to have heart. You need to have persistence. You need to be focused, and you need to be driven by a certain vision. And you just have to be a go-getter. Because if you're not a go-getter, bruh, you're gonna see a whole lot of people pass you by. It's a beautiful journey. It's exciting. It has its ups and downs. It has its stresses and triumphs. But you learn to live within those ups and downs and trials and triumphs, for the vision that you carry. What I've achieved so far, a couple of contracts with the local mines. I mostly work with the private sector, and a couple of contracts with the Ivan Platt mine, and recently with Anglo, just got a 12-month contract with it. In terms of work, that's that, and the achievements, some of them are priceless, because we donate a couple of stuff to young entrepreneurs and kids mostly, and that's been priceless moments and very fulfilling, besides from our work per se, as an IT company. The story started in 2010. I had an idea. I wanted to provide. Initially, when it started, I wanted to provide services for your homes. Your basic computer literacy and fixing computers and stuff like that. So at the time I was working at a hardware store as a junior administrator. So I came with that idea, like, okay, listen, this is what I do, and I would like to excel. I'd like to make bread and butter out of this. So I came up with TSL IT Solutions, which it's an abbreviation for Thabo Lekalakala. So, and then I liked it, but I wanted something catchy. So most of my life is influenced by hip hop. Like everything from it's actually influenced by music, So I took it back to Jay-Z's one of the biggest albums Jay-Z has ever put out, the Blueprint. So Blueprint comes from there, the Blueprint album. So, and then from there I used it as a trade name. So it was TSL IT Solutions trading as Blueprint, of which it still is at the moment. So, and then from there later on, I realized that household is not gonna do for me, because there's a lot of people who are into the household thing. So I had to alter my business profile to cater for small businesses, small organizations, and big organizations. And then from there, I'd say the rest was history. When we got the opportunity, Ivan Platt gave us an opportunity at first. We started supplying laptops, computers, toners and stuff like that, and then we built a relationship from there. And then our first contract that we got was for maintaining plotters and printers. And one of the guys told me that this so and so contract is going to be advertised, and I think you will stand a good chance at it. So give it a shot. Apply for it, apply for the project, and see how it goes. And luckily, within 2 weeks after the adjudication and everything, we were awarded the contract, and that was the first step to most of them. The hardships is, things didn't just blow up at first. It was a long journey. My first company didn't last 2 years. I started it with a friend, and then our visions were different. So I had to pull myself back from there, and get a job. Okay, that worked. Got a job, and then I worked for like a year, and then I actually resigned from that job because this passion was really fueling. And then I started a car wash. I left my job at Eskom. I was like, yeah, I'm going. So I started a car wash, and then I worked on it for a year. That didn't work out pretty much. I was not even benchmarking for most of the months. So I found another job, and PwC. I worked there for a year as well. That's when my cousin told me, you should quit and everything and stuff like that. At the side, I was still pushing Blueprint, in the hopes that I would get something big, So when finally I got really fed up with the 9 to 5, I was like, yeah, like I'm dropping all this. So I started pushing Blueprint as from 2015, early 2015. Doing small jobs like supplying your laptops and printers to the mine and everything, and then that opportunity came through. It goes with persistence and your vision. Your vision must drive you, and when you don't find motivation in your surroundings, you need to motivate yourself. Self-motivation is very crucial as well. So it's not easy. It's not easy. Entrepreneurship is not easy, that I can guarantee, but at the end of the day, it's worth it. Firstly, you have to build trust. The client has to know that I can trust in this young black man to provide services. It's not about race, but a black entrepreneurship has to prove himself twice as hard as a white entrepreneur. Okay, because you have to work twice as hard. They do not trust you until you make them trust you. With a white entrepreneur, he can easily get all those contracts. He does not have to prove himself. It's like, okay, you'll make it happen. With everything as a black man, everything that a black man has to do, he has to work twice as hard, because you have all the challenges against you. Well, there's this other white guy at the mine, many Dos Ramos. When we got this biometrics things going on, he's like, so you got the contract. He's the shaft manager, the shaft 2 manager. He's like, you got the contract. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're doing really great for a young guy. I was like, oh, thank you, sir. So that actually was a pat in the back for me, and I really appreciated it. And even with the mine, especially Ivan Place, I get a lot of compliments from there, and the fact that I have no competition as a young black in our region who owns an IT company. Most of the companies are white, so I have no competition, and get from there, it's overwhelming. I'd say it's really overwhelming, and the support from the mine itself, it's overwhelming. I'm really appreciative of that. So yeah. Black brothers, stop owning companies on document. Yeah, a company on a document is not tangible. It's not something that can bring you bread. And there's so many possibilities. There's so many opportunities. You just need to go out there, make a plan. It's no use going into the streets and robbing your fellow black brother, or shaming what he's doing, or whatever. Trying to bring him down. Just let's work for ourselves. Let's make our own. Yeah, let's give each other a chance, and then let's start believing in ourselves and start believing in another brother's idea, and instead of shaming him, give him a bit of support. The support goes a long way.